Hey guys, how is it going? I hope you're having an awesome day. In this video, I'll be making a sci-fi character concept art using a rendered 3D scene as base and then painted over in Photoshop. The narrative of the scene is simple. It'll be a cybernetic soldier standing on watch, and in the background haze is a silhouette of a spaceship. To do this scene, I'll be using a generic soldier model I've downloaded online and a spaceship model I kit bashed in advance. With that said, let's start. While the base render itself was straightforward, here are some of the things to take note on how I set up the base render. I made sure the composition follows a simple rule of thirds. That is, the soldier falls on the left third of the frame. This makes good use of the negative space on the right, reinforcing the direction of focus of the soldier. The background would also be in enough depth of field so as to add to the scene narrative and complexity, but not have too much discernible details that it will grab attention from the main subject, which is in this case the soldier. The lighting direction has to emphasize readable time of day and details on the character design. After all these conditions are met, I left everything at default settings and hit render. I'm using Eevee to render the scene, so it just took seconds to render. Before I started painting, the very first thing I did was to apply a gradient map in Photoshop to quickly overlay color across the scene. After this, I painted over the background to adjust it further to hit the ambience I'm looking for. For the character, the priority is to introduce a new silhouette and details that brings the spirit of the references to the base scene. Even if you don't draw professionally or as a hobby, good amount of references can get you far. I started picking up colors from the render and sketch out details, all the while keeping in mind the primary source of light in the scene. I used a default hard round brush to flesh out new blocks and details. You can also get pretty creative even if you just follow the random lines that you see on the render. Next, I move on to the character's gun. Since this is a big detail and a point of interest, I made sure to take my time adding to its silhouette, made it more bulky and sci-fi-ish. As I moved to the other areas of the image, I would always come back to these areas again as I eventually cover all the areas of the render. At one point, I realized how the environment needed to be brighter in exposure, so I just simply doubled the gradient map layer. When I determined that I pretty much looked into every part of the scene, I merged all the Photoshop layers and started painting on top of everything. That means adding more details while making sure everything reads clearly. I've also added some mechanical details and subtle changes in colors to suggest material variety. I made final touches to the environment, adding texture so it's not left out finish-wise. So this is the final output. If you like what you've seen so far, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next videos.